before we move any further, folks, I just wanted to quickly give you a bit more detail about the setup function. I actually could not explain it in detail in the last video. So basically what happens with the setup function is that this function is run every time one of your tests is run. Now, for instance, we have this one test which covers that the user can log in with correct credentials, but it's equally important to verify that the user cannot log in with incorrect credentials. So, for example, if somebody can log in with incorrect credentials and they can access the information that they're not supposed to, that is obviously not desired behavior. And while that might sound like, something that is not worth testing, it definitely is. So what we're going to do is, in order to demonstrate the whole thing, I'm going to do a quick copy of this test, and we're going to make some changes in this to assert otherwise, to confirm the reverse case scenario in which a user cannot log in with incorrect credentials. So we're going to name this accordingly first of all, because it's giving us an error that there are two names. So user cannot log in with incorrect credentials. So we are going to use the same email. Okay, now remember, this is generating your team and a user in the process. And once this test is run, this first test is run, it is going to rerun the database migrations, and it's going to clear the database and it's going to repopulate it with new data. So this is going to be new data. And if we at all use the same details, then what's going to happen is it's going to log the user in, because that is a legitimately created user, and things are not going to be according to what we want. So basically we want this test to pass green and to confirm that with wrong credentials a user cannot log in. So I'm going to change one way can be to change the password to, let's say, something else. So let's say password 123. So this is going to confirm that the user will not be able to log in with wrong credentials, just like the name says. All right. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to leave the pause at 5,000. And of course, once you do this, it's not going to go forward, and we're not going to be able to see Laravel dead stream, or we're not going to go to the path dashboard, and we're not going to be able to see the username, because of course he or she is not going to be logged in. So it is an opportunity to learn some of the reverse functions. So we're going to do assert don't see. So we're going to assert that we don't see Laravel Jetstream. Now that's important, because if it stays on the same page, it's not going to see Jetstream. And we can assert that the path is still login, so it has not gone forward from the login path. And we can also say assert don't see username. Now these three alone, this is one way of doing it. We're going to do another way, but for right now, since we don't know what is going to be the error and everything, we're going to use this. And in the same instance, we are also going to take a screenshot to see, it's called status.png, and see what the error is in return. So now it is still going to run both the tests. So it's going to take some time. With Laravel tests, it does take some time for tests. So you should be mentally prepared. As the tests start getting more complicated, they're going to take more and more time. I also have some productivity hacks there, which are going to talk about later. But for now, let's run the test to see what happens. So the first test is exactly the same. So it's going to replicate the same behavior that we saw in the last video. So it goes there, everything is there, and it's going to pass. Now this is the second test. Now that has immediately run, and as you can see that it's all right, perfect. So it has run and it has used the wrong password and the user was unable to log in. And as you can see, it did not see Laravel Jetstream. It stayed on the login path, and also it did not see the username because the username was of course not logged in. So as you can see, this is crazy productive. I mean, so you can in under 1 minute approximately, or in 1 minute, you can actually check that your users can log in with correct credentials and they cannot log in with incorrect credentials, making 100% sure that your login forms are working correctly. Now, since we have taken a screenshot, I'm going to show you what is the purpose of the screenshot. So we are going to have a look at the screenshots, and we generated the status.png, and this is showing us the error that it has generated. So it says, whoops, something went wrong. So you can use that. So let's say over here, you can say, let's get rid of the screenshot. And over here, we can say assert C. So we also want to make sure that there is an error returned. Okay. And it says something along the lines, you can use this, whatever you want. So I think, but this is going to be probably more important because this might as well change. This might as well change as well, but then if you are changing it, this is because this is default. If you are changing it, you can change your tests accordingly. But for right now, we're going to use this, and this is going to serve our purpose. So these credentials do not match our records. So these credentials do not match our records. Is that it? Okay, remember the test is still going to pass if you don't put this dot here, or if you miss records or, but if you miss anything in the middle, it's not going to pass. So let's just copy the whole string and let's make sure that this error message is also showing. So instead of 8 assertions, it's going to be 9 now, if we've got everything correctly. So let's run the test again. So it's going to check for the correct credentials first. Correct credentials, log in, see everything is okay, pass all the tests. Okay, now use the second one and again see that everything is working as expected, and you cannot sign in with incorrect credentials. So we have run 2 tests, and we can see that we have 9 assertions. So everything is working correctly. If we just use this test, this is going to be awesome.